right here is go back. What we're gonna do right here is go back. Go back, go back, back, go back, go back, back, go back, go back, back. Way back.
Alright, and welcome back to Kuma-style Reviews. This is TJ Duckett, and what we have here is Fansproject, their Causality figure, or their Causality series, CA-09 Car Crash, the first in their line of robots that form the Gestalt Intimidator, which is their homage to Transformers Generation 1 Gestalt Minosaur. So taking a look at this, we've got some line art on the front, as well as the Crossfire logo here. I believe that's new, the X-Fire. Causality, we've got the figure itself, of course, and the cutout, which I do like. Alright, up top, same line art, just some writing there. The bottom, warning hazards, looks like the same in kanji. Okay, on this side, we do have the toy itself in a nice pose there, and on the other side, same pose, but line art instead. So pretty cool. And I love the graphing all around and stuff like that. It's so cool. Alright. Now taking a look at the back here, we've got a couple of poses. Very cool poses, actually. Shows that it does have some dynamic to it, as well as the alt mode there. And some close-ups as well. So, I like that they've specifically got a close-up of ankle tilts. So, if you don't think they listen to fans, apparently they do. Because I know that was a big thing with their Chrome Dome character. So anyway, let's go ahead and dig into the figure itself. Alright, so taking a look at the figure here, you can tell that it's definitely got some artistic interpretation in terms of its homage to Breakdown. And I like that, because for me, whether it was the G1 Toy Classics, the head sculpt especially, I just could not stand the look of Breakdown from the Minosaur bots. Or Stunnicons, there you go. But this thing is just gorgeous to me. As per usual, very anime, manga style influences. But yeah, I dig it. Alright? And just a close up on his head sculpt so you guys can see how he looks. Focus there. You can see a lot more of a cartoony feel. It's weird to say that he has more of a cartoony feel than a cartoon character, but he does. He does for sure. So, alright. Giving you a look from the other angles. Straighten him out a bit. And you can see he's very easy to pose. Even doing small things like that. Okay, taking a look at him here. Alright, so he's a smaller bot. This one scales at about... It's going to be about just over 4.5 inches tall. So not a very tall Classics figure at all. But, I don't know. Because I'm not too familiar with the Stunnicon, so I can't say whether it scales well or not to a Classics collection. But here are some other figures, just so you can see how it looks next to them. I'll give you the Hound mold. It's actually Scorch, Bumblebee, and we'll go ahead and put Jazz in the back. Like, honestly, alright, let me get the camera above them a little bit so you can see them all. Back that up. Oops. Alright, and you can see that Jazz is quite a bit taller. So, I mean, just in general, he is pretty small. Even shorter than toys like Hound and Bumblebee, which are on the smaller side of Classics Deluxes. So this is definitely... I don't know if it's necessarily dangerously, but it's for sure approaching that Scout class figure. Alright, or Scout class... scaling. So, let's take a look at the figure and its posability here. I'm actually glad we got some of that light off. Okay. So the head, definitely on the ball joint there. Alright, not a lot of up and down movement, but still enough to make it noticeable. I dig it. Alright, shoulders here, definitely on ball joints. And there's a lot of extra range there with the shoulder. Alright, waist swivel, no ab crunch or anything like that. Alright, elbows, single jointed, but he can get it to a 90-degree angle there. Thighs, definitely on ball joints, good stuff. Alright, thighs swivel. Alright, we're cooking. A lot of bend at the knee, not double jointed or anything like that, but a good amount of bend there. Okay. In fact, let's just go ahead and try that out. First time I've messed with it. Alright, cool. So, good bend at the knee there. Alright, and ankle tilts, as well as posable heels. And posable feet too, but not very far. Okay? Now, taking a look at his accessory, he only comes with one. I don't know if any of you guys noticed, but when I turned him around to the back, he had these two gray things. And it's the same storage, I believe, that he uses for his alt mode too. There are two halves to the gun, so they fit on very tight. So, just pulling those straight off. They're extremely tight fit, Jesus. I'm hoping those warp a little bit over time. But, boom, okay? You have his pistol there. Put that in hand. Let's go ahead and use some of this posability to have him blast the camera or something. And whenever I say blast the camera, I'm referencing a pretty well-known member of the fandom, TransFan2. He does a lot of pictures, and he has a series of them called Blasting the Camera, where they're in poses like this, pointing their weapon at the camera. So, okay. And there we go. There's the figure himself. Let's go ahead and get this thing transformed and look at his alt mode. Alright, and just walking through the transformation here. Go ahead and flip these up. Okay. And those arms, they just pop in, as you can see. Okay. Just making sure that they're a good fit. Okay. So now, bring this in. There are tabs on the inside here that line up. I'm gonna actually get some lights out of the way. Jeez. I didn't realize how bright that was. Sorry, guys. Alright, so lining that business up. Alright, and that push up is very hard. I just had to push it in another notch after kind of forcing it, actually. So I don't know if that's just like a first or second time thing or what, but just be mindful of the fact that that's tight. And it's going to feel like you're about to break it, so it's unfortunate, but kind of is what it is. Alright, so the feet. You take both of these halves and just bring them in. Okay. Alright, and you're basically folding things up until they become a car, if that makes sense. Whoops. And of course I had to take it right off the ball joint there, like a smart guy. So popping that back in, just folding in the two halves, and okay, now we're talking business. Okay. Do the same thing on the other side. If anything, I recommend starting with the back of the foot and folding that part in first, and then the front. See how it folds in there? Alright. And then getting this part, the tire's kind of buried in there. So you just take that out, flip it up, and then pop it back in. Alright, from there, you just take this piece, fold it around until you feel comfortable. And there's a tab in the front that you just line it up with. Alright, so there's that. Sorry about that. The camera ran out of battery. But now that you've got those two pieces lined up, or the two front ends all folded together and everything like that, just going to turn the figure around here. Alright, and there are two doors on each side that open up here. Alright, see that? Okay, now, if you look inside of the leg here, I'm going to zoom in. There's like a latch piece. It pegs in. And once you unpeg that, this whole thing can slide down. Alright, and then you can just, once you got it in, peg it back in. Alright, and I'll actually make sure all that maintenance stuff is done. But unpegging this side, okay, just so that it can slide down. Alright, you'll see what I'm doing. I'm just taking it, and everything just kind of slides around. So once you get it in, you can close the door. Or the door kind of automatically closes itself, which is really cool. But okay, now the car up top, it lines up pretty well without having to do a ton of adjustments. Okay, and there we go. Everything's all lined up. Everything transforms pretty seamlessly. I'm not gonna lie, but there you go. There's his alt mode. Alright, now, taking a look at the alt mode here. First off, the weapon storage. Alright, you'll see the same two tabs are down here by its head. So, let's go ahead and get this gun disassembled. The tabs are nice because one tab is actually shorter than the other, as you can see. And it's made to actually match up with the weapons themselves. What's nice about this is that it actually mimics the exhaust pipes. So that's pretty cool. Alright, so making sure the long end goes out. It's a very precise fit. I wish there was a little bit more leeway, but that's one of those kind of is what it is dealies. Okay. Alright, so there's that, and you can see it actually emulates exhaust pipes there. So that's pretty cool. I actually like that quite a bit. I'm a big fan of good weapon storage, and kudos to Fansproject for implementing that into this figure. But you can see, it looks like what it's supposed to. Now, I'm not a car guy on that level. I don't know if this is a concept, an actual car, you know, etc., etc. I'm sure somebody who comments on this will post and thank you, or post exactly what kind of car it is, and whether it's a concept or real. And thank you in advance. You know, that's not my forte. I don't pretend. So, okay, taking a look at it from all angles. All wheels roll. You know, no adjustments. I mean, all the kibble here is on the bottom. You don't see anything hanging off. This is a good and sleek alt mode. I mean, I have no complaints. So yeah, I dig it. Alright, so, final thoughts on this guy. I'm not going to lie, I went into it not expecting too crazy much because it is a piece of a gestalt. A gestalt. So, yeah, it is a piece of a combiner, you know, pretty much 1/5 of one. So, as for it being an individual robot and stuff like that, like I said, didn't expect too much here or there, but it definitely delivers. I like it, and it's a nice reimagining of the breakdown character, which, like I said earlier, I did not like too much at all. You know, I would definitely display this as a standalone breakdown. And that for me says a lot. The posability is there, the look is there. I dig the weapon storage, the simple but very rewarding transformation into that seamless alt mode is great. You know, no figure is perfect, but this is pretty damn good. I would definitely recommend them, even if you're not buying them for the Intimidator combined mode. So, once again, this has been TJ Duckett with another Kuma Style review, and what we just reviewed is Fansproject's CA-09 from the Causality series, Car Crash, who is, once again, an homage to the G1 character breakdown. Alright, this has been another Kuma Style review. See you next time.